Good morning once again, YouTube. Alfred here. Welcome back, and hope you've been well. Anyway, excuse me. Today I want to talk to you guys about the relationship that you have, and I'm not going to talk about relationship with other people, like your love relationship or relationship that you have with your parents or your siblings or your bosses or whatever, your colleagues. I'm going to talk about the relationship, the most important relationship that you have is the one you have with yourself. The relationship that the one-on-one conversations that you have with yourself are one of the most important things. How you treat yourself is way more important than how others treat you. If you're gonna have, if you plan to have better relationships with other people, it's best that you have a good relationship with yourself first before you can actually convince others to treat you the way you want them to treat you, right? No, so the relationship that you're gonna have with yourself should be a very healthy relationship. You should think highly of yourself. You should take good care of yourself. You should be doing things that are more positive towards you, and that means that physically, mentally, and obviously spiritually, all this should be congruent with the fact that it brings you joy and happiness, however you're going to define it, right? So a healthy relationship is one that you know you're doing your best. You know you're doing what you can to get to your goals, to better yourself, and to try and better other people around you. No matter what the circumstances are, because we are not all in the same circumstances, right? But what I believe, if you keep on working on yourself and doing what you're supposed to do, and let's face it, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. You do the work, you do. If you're a student, you know you got to do those assignments, you got to take those lectures. If you're an employee, you know you got to do your job right. Get into the office on time. You know, if you're a leader or boss, you know you have to be accountable for certain things. So those relationships starts first with you. If you have a healthy relationship with yourself, that it will be inevitable that everybody else will have a better relationship with you, because they can see that will obviously emanate from you inwards to outward. So people will be able to pick on that you're someone who highly values themselves, and thus people will also value you. But this also goes hand in hand with the fact that you are supposed to bring a value outside of you. Don't let it only stay inside. If you have the value inside of you, create it and make it now outside of you. Whatever skills that I like to tell you guys, whatever skills that you're honing or you're creating, if you're being creative, it's best that you work on that, because that will now be showing your value in the marketplace. And if you create anything, right, whether you're a music creator, you create woodwork, right, you're a carpenter, you're a lyricist, whatever creation, you're a writer, right, whatever that, because all that actually comes from within, and it is expressed outwardly, right? But needs to have a good relationship with you, inside of you, so that that reflects outside of you. Now, what's a good relationship with yourself? Everybody has their own definition of a good relationship. Um, for me, to do whatever makes you happy, whatever brings you the outcome that you feel that this is moving me forward, this is not making me stuck. This is not making me stagnant, and it's not actually detrimental to whatever, or it's an obstacle. It's not an obstacle to my plans, my strategy, and my vision, but it's something that helps me move forward, and it brings joy, happiness to me. So if you are able to identify that, then I guess you're moving towards a healthy relationship, right? For example, if you're going to eat food that's not healthy, then it's pretty obviously your system won't work properly, and your body won't function the way you want it. Your thought process and your way you think won't be what you want it to be. Why? Because the food you're taking in is not the right food. It doesn't have the right nutrition. It doesn't have the right vitamins and all that is good that will um, make you more sufficient, work sufficiently, and more proficient. So, um, what are you to do about that? What you can do is change your diet, eat what is right. Then I'm not saying that you should totally take bad food out of it. What is bad food might be good for you. I mean, it might be good for your taste, for your taste buds, but it's not good for your health overall. But you can have it once a week, once a month. What most people call cheat days. It's not bad, but as long as a lot of your other intake, your other food are better, are good and nutritional and wholesome. That's one way of having a good relationship with your body, right? Exercising and reading, and then also generally taking good care of yourself. That's a very that's the best way I can put it. Generally, just taking care of yourself, making sure that you're well taken by you first, and then not to really rely on others much, because you cannot always rely on people to take care of you, because they themselves have things to do. They may really help you out at first, but at the end of the day, they can't really take care of you as much as you can take care of yourself. And yes, I know there's some people who are sick out there who really need the care they need, who need the nursing, but that's another case. Here I'm talking about a grown man who's up on his job, who's doing his thing, and at the end of the day, they want people to take care of everything else about them, whether it's financing, whether it's their health. They want people to choose for them their life. They themselves are supposed to take care of themselves. That won't really work for you, because you should be your number one fan. You should be your best cheerleader, because when you're all alone, and which will happen at times, not everyone will be there always. When you're all alone, maybe your parents are gone, your siblings are out there doing their own thing, your friends are also out there, you're down, all you have is yourself. That's when you'd have to start relying on yourself more. So taking the best relationship, like I'm saying, is the one you have with yourself, your thoughts. Taking good care of your thoughts, what you say to yourself, is very, very important. If you think you're ugly, if you think you're a bad person, but deep inside maybe you're not, if you think you're a failure, then it might manifest and be true, because it's your thought process. It's what you think of yourself. But if you think highly of yourself, you think you're a good person, you're beautiful, you're handsome, whatever, you're working towards your goal. So someday you're gonna catch them. You're gonna be more self-reliant, and you're working on yourself. You know you're determined. You're a determined person, and you're someone who doesn't really give up on your goals, and you're completely strategizing. Right, you talk well for yourself. You are always affirming yourself that okay, things will be good. You're meditating. Then eventually your thought process will start to manifest this way, because now you're changing the way you look at yourself, the way you see yourself, and you're seeing yourself not on other people's eyes, but on your own eyes, the way you want to be. And this is a long process, by the way. It doesn't take 1 year, 2 years. It's a life process until maybe the grave or something. But as long as you're working on yourself, you're always going towards something good, and that eventually will bring you your happiness and what you have been seeking, right? But like I said, this will only come if you're good with yourself. You treat yourself very well. And I'm not saying that you should not criticize yourself. You should also criticize yourself where you know that, okay, I've done this something wrong, but I can rectify it. I can do it better next time. Right? Just as much as you can be your best friend, your best cheerleader, be your best critic too. So that when you mess up, when you fuck up, you're able to tell yourself, just in case there are some people who are afraid to tell you because maybe they love you, or maybe they hate you, so they want you to mess up, so they won't criticize you. Or some other people will just criticize you for the sake of criticizing you, and it won't be constructive criticism. So they want to mess you up, but then you have to be critical about it and think about it and say, okay, is this person well-meaning to me? Is it really, did I really do something wrong? Then you come up with the whole idea. If you did something wrong, you rectify it, you criticize yourself and move on. You don't dwell on it. That's how you should treat yourself. Don't dwell on mistakes. Don't dwell on failure. Failure is part of life. Everybody does fail, no matter who you are, no matter how you grew up. Even if you grew up with a silver spoon, you're bound to fail somehow, as long as you're trying to do something. But maybe the only people who do not fail are those who just sit back and be spectators and things. They don't do anything. They just move with the flow of life. Tomorrow they're doing this. They're just doing the same thing over and over again. Nothing. They're not changing, not willing to change because they're afraid to take risks. Those people don't, I guess, in their lives they don't fail. But if you are working on yourself and you're taking high risk, right? You're doing your skills. You're working on your skills. Your business, right? You're doing your business. No matter how hard it is, you failed in your first business, you failed in a second, but you're still trying. You're working on yourself. So you have to look at that and say, okay, where am I going wrong? What should I do next? Should I seek somebody's advice? Should I listen to somebody on YouTube? All that is you're moving. You're trying to move forward. So all that's the relationship with you. Like I said, and I'm going to finish with this, the best relationship you're going to have is not the one you're going to have with your siblings. Even if that sibling of yours is your twin brother, it's not the one that you're going to have with your parents, even your mom, your dad. I can go as much as you're not going to even have the best relationship with God before you have the best relationship with you. I don't think that you can have a good relationship with God if you're not well with yourself, within yourself. I really doubt it. Why? Because I believe that whatever you believe in, whether it's God or whatever it is, it wants to meet you halfway. You have to be moving, and if you want to be moving towards something, or you have to be doing something right. So by that, doing something means has to be positively done, and so once you are doing that, then it means that you're having a good relationship with yourself. If you're positive and not really negative, not talking down on yourself and always down, whining, complaining, then I guess you'll be good to yourself. Anyway, that's all for me. I hope you understood this, and I'll be able to refine more of my ideas later on this podcast. And I thank you once again for listening. And till next time, I'm going to sign out and say more knowledge